All right, we are live, and I've got my good buddy Jordan Lee here. Jordan, we've known each other in real estate for a while now, right? A couple of years. Jordan was one of the first people to reach out to me when I decided to get my real estate license, and it's just been kind of a cool, like, if you guys that are watching on the line, if you ever run into somebody where it's like, I know that I'm supposed to know that person, and I know that we're supposed to like do business together. That's the way I feel with Jordan. Is I just knew that we were going to be connected. I mean, the first time we hung out was the coffee shop. The next time was at the racetrack, and then we went a few more times. In fact, I think that second time we hung out, it was like 4 a.m. or something when we got home. It was kind of crazy how late we stayed up. But Jordan is also syndicating real estate now. And when I first met you, you hadn't really jumped into syndications yet. And now you've already got your first deal under your belt. You're working on another one. And in fact, you're in raise mode with your current one, and you have another that you're negotiating on. So you are not slowing down. I know that I just had you on the phone with Mike Anderson, who's done over $6 billion in syndications. And we're pretty excited to have you as our first officially approved sponsor with pre-iShare. It's not done yet, folks, but I have a pretty good feeling that Jordan checks all the boxes, and he may be the first one to be approved and hopefully get some funds from us too. So
looking forward.
Pretty excited about that, man. And really grateful to know you and just see where you've come and where you're going. Excited to do a lot more business with you as we move forward. But do me a favor.
Yeah,
we're streaming this out to all the different platforms. We're trying to make, get the word out about just what's going on in the world of syndications. And I think you're a great example in that world. Share with us kind of your background in real estate, how you got into the first deal, which was just recent, and then how that catapulted you into where you're at now.
My background in real estate is I've been around it my entire life, didn't understand it, right? My grandpa was in real estate and come over to the Christmas parties, get us big presents. We didn't know what he did, right? He'd just say real estate, but you had no clue what that meant. Getting to know my grandfather a lot better as I got older, it was apparent that I wanted to be in that. When I was in college at BYU in the Marriott School, I wanted to do real estate full time, didn't know how to get into it. So I was actually recruited to do door-to-door sales. And the guys that recruited me, their sales pitch was simple. How are you going to get real estate without money? And I didn't have any started. I didn't know anything. So I was like, you're right. I need a down payment. I need something. I need money to go fix and flip. I at least need money to have a car to go drive by properties, right? So yeah, I started in door-to-door sales and did that for a couple years, and then started a solar company, did that for a couple years, and then was able to sell that company. And in the meantime, I was just acquiring real estate. I actually started syndicating on accident. When I got into a lot of properties, I was calling friends and family and saying, hey, I need money to go acquire this deal. It's a really, really good deal. Do you want to give me the money and I'll go do the hustle and then we can split the profits? So I didn't even know what syndicating was, but apparently I was doing it. And then I saw a YouTube video with a guy named Meet Kevin that was this upcoming real estate agent. I think I was like one of the first people to follow the guy, but he was doing, he's talking about syndication, and I was like, oh, that's something that people do. I didn't even know. And then I got perked into commercial real estate and kind of just dove right in. Met a guy on Clubhouse that's TJ Kremings, super good guy, has been mentoring me for probably about 1.5 years, 2 years, and he does hundreds of units. So he was able to mentor me for free because I brought him value and connections. And ever since then, just been running. But yeah, we just closed a 70 unit down in Mercedes, Texas. We have one 5 miles away that we're closing. It's another 65 units. We're working on a lot bigger unit right now. We're still in the negotiation process. And the team's growing. So it's fun. I don't know where it's going to take in the end, but it's good to meet people. Like we were just on the call with Michael, who's done billions of dollars. And I would say I'm close to about the $100 million mark of transactions and investments. But to meet somebody who's been part of billions of dollars, it's the next level. So excited to get there.
Yeah, for sure. So I got to ask, where does the name Beast come from? Where does that tie in?
It was just my nickname as a little kid. My family would call me Little Beastie. I was always a little bit stockier as a kid. I was like the little monkey. In football, I just wanted to run people over. So yeah, it was just my nickname as a little kid. I always wrote Beast on my papers at school. It's how I'd sign them. And I think it has to go with my personality that I've always been the type of guy to hustle and want to win, not in a mean way, but like I love being competitive. So yeah, just started Beast Real Estate. And then once I got into cash flow and everything, that's when we started cash flowing investments. That's our commercial side, because we wanted a name that represented the brand of passive investments. So the real estate side, cash flowing investments, Beast Real Estate is more of, me, my personal brand, my team, real estate brokerage, that kind of stuff.
Got it. That makes sense. Well, I know I've got Brendan on here with us as well, and I'm going to have him put a link to the YouTube video from the syndication show that we did with you, because I think that was a really fun experience, And at that time, you had just basically finished and acquired that first unit. Tell me about how that's going.
It's going awesome. I think we had our pro forma set between like a 6% preferred return, and we're already well above that right on month one. That deal is a little bit different than the one we're currently doing. That deal, there was a new roof, there's new HVAC, and 60% of the units were already renovated. So it was really just buy a good deal, right? So this one that we're doing right now, it's a lot more time intensive, and we're ready to take a bigger step on this one because we have a good relationship with our property manager. She owns a construction company, and she's already been doing work for us for a couple months. So a little bit different deals. I like anything in multifamily though. So, I mean, if there's money to be made, we're going to figure a way to do it.
Yeah. So it kind of sounds like the first one from talking to you is more of just a buy and hold type scenario here, not a ton of value add that you're looking to do there. But the second one has a lot more value add. Tell me about kind of maybe the mindset there of what it takes to go from simply buying something and having somebody manage it versus taking on a big construction project.
Well, yeah, I mean, the past 2 years has been a flipper's dream, right? Like everything went up in value. You didn't have to really be good in real estate to make money. You could have bought a townhome for $300,000. All of a sudden it's worth $450,000. So I took advantage of that the last 2 years. I did a lot of flips. I mean, I don't like to get too much in like tooting my own horn, because I like to stay humble. But just on one flip, I netted over $200,000 on a $5,000 investment. So like that was just the reality of the market the last 2 years. You could do something, get a good deal, put a little bit of money into it, and bada boom, bada bing, it's a big return. But when you do smaller deals, you start noticing, like, I could go a little bit bigger. I'm going to rehab this 4-plex. I'm going to rehab an 8-plex. This is just the same thing. It's just a bigger scale, and you want to make sure you do your due diligence. So there's been a lot of due diligence going into it, even networking with people. I just got off the phone with a guy that owns a roofing company down in Southern Texas. So he's looking at coming in as a limited partner, an investor, but also looking at as a roof job as well, where we can both benefit. He does it cheaper. We can save some money as the group, but he's also an investor, so it kicks money back into his pocket. That is probably the most time intensive, is getting those quotes and doing everything. For me, this is fun. Talking to investors, talking about the opportunities, fun. Getting quotes and everything is a little bit more work, but we definitely do our due diligence, because I think in any single syndication or real estate in general, operations is a big thing, just having a good operator. I asked one of my mentors who's a billionaire, hey, what's the secret? Like, how do you have 25 different businesses that are all successful. And he just looked at me, he's like, good operators. And I was like, that's it? He's like, if you think about it, it's profound. So, but it's true. If you have good operators and good people on your team, it's easier. Like with this current deal, we have great accountants in place. Legacy Accounting, I'll tell you, they're amazing. If you reach out to them, they help us out with cost segregation. They're helping out, take out the K1s, doing all the QuickBooks and making sure that the dividends are paid out on time. David Silver, our attorney, he's out of Chicago. Great syndication attorney, does our PPMs amazingly. And once you've worked with him for a little bit, he charges by the hour. So it's really a template. So we're able to save a lot of money on these future deals. Our lender, Ben Johnson with Origin, he has got us amazing rates because we had good properties and a good background in real estate. So we're getting rates that some people don't even believe that we're getting. But yeah, I think putting together the right pieces, having good operators, good key people, is you have to do that to have a good team. So it's not just all me. I just want to let you know that, like, there's definitely a lot of people behind the scenes that are doing this. I like to communicate with people.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've talked about this a lot actually over the years, is anybody that says they're a self-made millionaire or self-made anything, man, they're just really missing out on the people that got them there, because there's no self-made anything, right? It's always team-made. And so
it's self-desire, because you got to have the desire to reach out. Like, I mean, Michael had to have the desire to reach out to you, or vice versa, right? You had to have the desire to call me back. But in the end, yeah, you're going to help me big time. I'm going to help you big time. So you're definitely not self-made, but I also do think that there is something to say where we give some people credit that they had the desire to actually open their mouth and ask for favors because they knew they had value to give.
Yeah, and it's not taking away from anybody. You know what I mean? I think those people that say self-made probably just, it's like a term, but it's just a term that kind of gets under my skin a little bit, because I know anybody that I've talked to that has done big things, it's taken a whole team behind them. And one of the things that we're trying to do, or we are doing, is starting to bring people together in a community platform around the world of real estate syndications. So another thing I'll have Brendan throw into the chat there is our Facebook group. So if you go to the Pre-iShare community Facebook group and you're watching this, like, go join that group. We're going to be putting a lot of good content in there. And one of the things that's not really done in the world of syndications, at least that we've found, is free sharing of information.
No.
So most of in commercial real estate, all of the data is like held very tightly by the commercial brokerages and the data firms. And so what we want to do is we want to bring the operators together, the people that are out there actually doing deals, and have them share, what's going well, what's going bad, what's going on in their markets, and kind of have a rating system for geographies, for asset classes, and for sponsors themselves, so people can really make good decisions when they're thinking about investing their hard-earned funds.
You guys are going to revolutionize the industry. What you guys are doing, I don't even know if it's ever been done, but the idea of just having bridge equity, we'll call it, or preferred equity, and bringing more investors to me, and then giving them liquidity through you guys. I think, I get that question all the time when somebody asks, hey, how long of a hold is this? Realistically, we plan on buying it, rehabbing it, refinancing it within 18 months, hopefully, but maybe it's 5 years. And then we can hold it for another 2, 3, 4, 5 years and then sell it. It could be a 10-year process. And if they want out of the deal, it's so cool that I can say, hey, my partner, Christian, with Pre-iShare, they will actually buy you guys out of the fund and liquidate you with the capital that they've raised. So it eliminates some reserve that some people have, especially older generation, right? I have one investor who's 81 years old, and he only wants in it for 5 years. He's like, no matter what, within 5 years, I need you to buy me out. Like, I want my money back. Yeah. So it's going to be a long-term relationship. and I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, definitely. And, we're excited to provide those services. Let's talk about your current deal, man. Like what's the deal with it? What makes it good? Why have you already funded as much as you have? And how much room is there left for other people?
Yeah, so on this current deal, we're picking up 65 units for 2.4 million down in West Laco. The average per price door in that area is 76,000. We're picking them up a little bit under $37,000 a door, so there's a ton of room. We haven't had a really hard time raising capital. It's just the timeline, because the seller was kicking around reducing the purchase price, and we were unwilling to pay for an appraisal, inspections, all the hard money that goes out once you commit to a deal. So once they gave that purchase price reduction, it's been a sprint. And they actually gave the purchase price reduction verbally, and we weren't able to sign any PPMs because nothing was signed by them. But we got it signed about a week and a half ago, and the past week and a half, we've raised, yeah, like you said, a little bit over $1 million on this deal. We have probably around 700, I'd say 700. I haven't talked to Rob yet. He's the ones that runs the subscription agreements, but about $600,000 to $700,000 left in this deal. And the plan is to put 25% down, so that's 600 grand, and we'll have some reserves, right, that we don't use just in case of rainy day funds, and take about $850,000 to $900,000 to go renovate these units, up the rents. Currently, some of them are sub 500s for a 2-bedroom apartment, which is ridiculous. I don't even think that the owner's ever been to the property, to be honest. She owns millions and millions of dollars real estate, and they're trying to liquidate what they have in the United States and move to hotel development in Mexico. So on this deal, we'll do that over an 18-month period, just renovating everything with our team. And then once that's great, we'll refinance and go on to another deal. So so in summary, we're doing a $1.7 million raise. That gets us to having everything ready for renovations, down payment, reserves. And our cash on this is a little bit over an 8% with a internal rate of return of over 19%. So, and that's for limited partners. That's taking out every single, our splits, everything. It's over a 19% return. So definitely a good opportunity on this one. That's based off of a 725 rent ratio. So we're below the median, which is 775 in that area. And all our pro formas have been based off of 725. So if we can hit that, make sure we're doing good jobs as operators and general partners in the deal, then this deal could be a home run. We got room in it.
Got it. That makes sense, man. And I think it's a huge opportunity. And then you now have another one that you're negotiating on. Obviously, don't share too many details because you got to wait till it's all tied up. But maybe you could lead into, you mentioned it's a bigger deal. So what's kind of some details of that one?
Yeah, so bigger deal. We just want to make sure we have more time. What we find is when we make an offer and we go under contract, people are weird about extensions. But if you do a lot of the due diligence before you actually go under contract and commercial, people know that you're willing to put more time in to close the deal. This deal is an off-market deal. We've been able to make good relationships with brokers that they trust me and they trust the team to come and say, hey, we got this deal. We know you can close on it. This deal is actually coming from one of the brokers that we've previously worked with. So they're giving us first dibs to it. I like those deals because brokers are commission incentivized, right? So if they come to me and I say, hey, I don't want any part of your commission as a real estate agent. You take the commission, you represent both sides. They're hustling for both sides to get the deal done. And that's what I want to happen. Obviously, I don't feel ethical screwing over the seller. And I also don't feel ethical screwing over our investors. There has to be a win-win. But when there's a broker, a good one, working for both sides, and they're going to get the deal done, that's very important. So we're really excited about that one. I don't want to give any many details on that one just because it might be a month out before we have terms together. But that one's looking well. We're actually looking at 2 other ones as well. They're not as enticing yet. But you know as well as I know, any deal can become enticing with the right terms. So we're still working on those as well.
Got it. That makes sense, man. I mean, I know that you're going to have to get to another appointment here, but if somebody wants to get a hold of you or just see what you're up to, what's the best way for them to do that?
Plenty of ways. Probably Instagram or Facebook. So just Jordan Lee on Facebook, and then Jordan with 2 N's because my middle initial is Nathaniel. So Jordan N Lee Official. Or we have websites, right? I'm not the biggest social media influencer, so a lot of our leads come through websites. Cashflowinginvestments.com is our commercial side. BeastRealEstate.com is more for like as an agent in Utah. So yeah, those BeastRealEstate.com, Cashflowinginvestments.com, or Jordan Lee on Facebook, or Jordan N Lee Official on Instagram. Those would be the best ways.
Awesome, man. Well, it's great having you on here, and we'll definitely do more of these in the future. And in fact, I'm going to see you in just a couple of hours, right? So we'll see you in a while.
Yep, exactly. Got to go do another inspection right now, but I'll see you a little bit later.
All right, man. Have a good day.
Take care. Bye.